Hey, it's your girl Yolanda, and I'm super excited to hang out with you for the next little bit. Tonight, we're going to be live podcasting, and I am live over on Instagram and Facebook, and I have not hit record on my podcast. But that's okay. We teed up, you're here. Tonight, we're going to be talking about when your forever ends. So I'm going to hit record. We're going to have some fun. If you are watching this, drop in the comments where you're watching this from. And I'm going to record this episode, and then after that, I'll come in, read any comments that might be there, and let's have some fun. Best damn version of yourself. I'm on a mission to empower you to embrace living a life that is real, raw, and free as fuck. I love you so much. Let's get ready to do this thing. Hey bestie, welcome back to the Date Cutter podcast. It's your girl Yolanda, and I am super excited to hang out with you for the next little bit. I'm actually live over on Instagram and Facebook tonight. And tonight's episode is inspired from a post that I made earlier this week with some of the best advice I got after my long-term relationship ended. So this episode is all about when your forever ends. I'm actually going to be answering your questions that you all dropped either on the content that I had created, and then leaving you with 10 tips to help you navigate being a newly single woman. If you're new here or just somehow finding my Instagram or the podcast, I ended a relationship at 30. It was my 37th birthday actually that relationship ended, and it was a 6-year relationship, and it was really a hard thing. And I love showing up and showing you the fast forward of, okay, great, things can end and life doesn't necessarily have to stop. There is life after your forever. And it's always just my mission to hopefully inspire and encourage other people and hopefully help you have some hope, okay? Because it's totally possible. I am in the best relationship, and most importantly, the most aligned relationship that I ever have actually been in, because I got really clear on what I wanted after my last relationship ended, and I really did manifest this person into my life because of the clarity that I got. So the first question that came through was, just make sure I'm not fucking anything up. Okay, so first question is, girl, I left a marriage at the ripe age of 42 to a man that I have been married to for 21 years. What's the first question I should ask the next man I want to date? And then she says, and go. And I replied back to this with the, definitely do not ask him about his favorite color, LOL. I was very open on my dating journey as a newly single woman in her late 30s. I had a lot of fun. It's actually really random, but today I got this random ass text message from someone that we haven't spoken since fucking March. They always come back around, which is really funny, but it's also one of those things that they only come back around. They can come back around. It's always, are you going to allow them to come back around? I don't have fucking time for that. I'm just going to delete the text message, right? But there are these jokes that go around on the internet about dating and when people are in dating apps and questions to ask people. And I've seen some TikToks where people talk about, sitting across from a guy and it's like, oh, so what's your favorite color? How many siblings do you have? And I never had these boring ass generic conversations with people I was meeting. And I don't know why people have them, because, well, I could guess why. Because people either are very superficial, they're not super in touch with themselves, or they just don't know how to communicate, and maybe they're nervous. Maybe this is the first time that they're getting back out there. But really, especially when we're in our late 30s, we have clarity for the most part on what it is that we want. Why are you pussyfooting around and wanting to know this generic ass stuff? And it's not that you have to do this on date number one, but one of the things that my clients learn is we are not scared about setting our intentions with what it is that we're looking for. So when I asked this person, I said, well, in all seriousness, what do you want to know about him? She responded, everything but what he does for a living, where or what type of house he has, the type of vehicle he drives. I need to know the real stuff. 100%. Exactly. Why would you want to know anything else but the real shit, right? And she goes on to say she wants to know, do you still have and value male friendships or having male friendship groups? Do you have your own hobbies in which you actively engage besides the gym? Do you love live music? Soulful questions. And these are great questions. Asking someone about what they do with their friends, and it doesn't have to be, do you have this male friend group? You can ask these questions where they're not so abrasive. Hey, what do you like to do on the weekends with your friends? Hey, where did you go to college? Are you still in touch with your college roommates or buddies that you met, your fraternity or sorority brothers and sisters, respectfully? So there's a way that we can be asking questions without it being interview questions, right? Being genuinely curious will always help you have better, more meaningful connections with people. And she says she spent a lot of time and continues to spend a lot of time nurturing female friendships and networks after she left her marriage. I need them in my life and believe he needs to have the same, or at least why I need mine. When we are dating and meeting new people, you get to be you. And someone wanting you to change who you are and what you are about is not going to be your person. Because what we have to understand in dating and relationships is that someone has to, one, want to change, and two, we have no control over anyone except for ourselves. And this is why I don't really like a lot of dating advice, because it's actually very manipulative. And so when I work with clients one-on-one, what we actually do together is we dive into ourselves. Because when foundationally you become the baddie, you become the strong person, you are the magnet, and you will attract very different things into your life. So what I want to remind this person that asked this question, and you, if you're listening to this podcast episode, one, you need to maintain your current lifestyle and hobbies and things that you enjoy. Because when you are doing things that are fun and bring you joy, guess what? You radiate very differently. Okay? If you somehow now all of a sudden have to cut off all the things that you love that are fulfilling and nourishing to your soul, you don't want to be with someone like that. You want someone that's going to prioritize you having individuality in your life, as well as them having individuality in their own lives. So that is reminder number one in this case. Number two, well, I covered that. So first is maintaining your current hobbies, things you enjoy. Number two is you being with someone that is an individual and has their own life. And sometimes we can get wrapped up in relationships, and there's like the honeymoon period, and you just want to be up each other's buttholes. And then also you having and making time for your friends. That is so important. Okay, you never want to lose sight of the things that are bringing you joy. And number three, I want you to remember that relationships are bonuses and they're not our entire lives. If you are with someone, I just listened to a podcast episode about narcissism and narcissists, and how narcissists specifically will try to pull you away from your circle, your inner group, your family, your friends, all that stuff, because they just want to get you into their web where they can manipulate you. And narcissists can be men and women. Okay, this is not exclusive to just one gender. It can be, anyone can be a narcissist. And narcissism can come from trauma and all these other spaces and things in life, but we can't control anyone. And when you are in your power, you don't allow other people to control you. And to give you an example is my boyfriend, for example, is always like, yeah, you want to go with your friends, go do this. Like, I'm going to do this. And we have our own individuality. And whenever I am out and I'm my social self or I'm around my friends, I come back as my love tank or my cup is fucking full, right? And that makes everything else better. So, no, you do not need to lose yourself when you're dating someone. And if you want to be with someone that has their own life, ask them simply, hey, like, what do you do in your free time? Okay, we don't have to be like interviewing. We're going on dates or vibe checks as a means to connect with people. And I think where a lot of women will make the mistake is on a first date, we're already marrying somebody as soon as we swipe on the fucking dating app. Okay, we're like, oh my gosh, like he's so great on paper. We start texting and oh my gosh, he's so amazing. And we're getting 7 steps ahead, which is you not being in the present moment. Sink back, be present, get out there and have fun. And kudos to you. She said that she was married for 21 years. As someone that really has not like missed the whole boat, I'm sure, on dating apps. Were dating apps around 21 years? It was definitely websites, right? Match.com, Plenty of Fish, these kind of things. This is an entirely new experience for you, and have fun. Don't let the newness overwhelm you. And when you do potentially feel that overwhelm come up, learn how to navigate that and play around and just remind yourself, hey, this is new and you're allowed to be nervous, but girl, I got you. Your higher self always has you. So thank you for asking that question, and hopefully these answers help you out. All right. I don't even have water up here, guys. I've been at my fucking desk all day. Question number 2 that came in from Facebook. Facebook is always a little bit better about asking their questions, I've noticed. But it's probably just because I have better relationships with people over on Facebook and they've literally seen my evolution. Question number 2. They said that they were given the same advice. So if you're just jumping on, or as a reminder, that advice was that when you're dating someone, ask yourself, would you be proud to show off this man and be with him, or would you be embarrassed by him? And that was some of the best dating advice that I took with me as I was going on dates. And my friends would always be like, oh, well, you're talking about these men that you've been on dates with. When are we going to meet? And because I had that in the back of my head, it was like, this isn't the one. This is not the one that I want to introduce to my friends. And I just knew that. But when I met my boyfriend, it was like, oh, boom, boom, boom. Like, we're the same person. I can't wait to show you off and for you to meet and connect with my friends. But she says she was given this advice after a miserable 3-year situationship. I don't know what that means. She said, I had one, and boy, was he everything and then some. I was proud of him and bragged to him, to everyone. Now, after 1 year of not being together, after he asked me forever, and then he bailed on me, asking me to wait on him for 4 months to pass his NCLEX, which for those of you guys don't know what that is your nursing boards, that didn't exist. Oh, wait. Asking me to wait on him for 4 months to pass his NCLEX that didn't exist. Was this man lying about even being in nursing school? I might have missed that part. He was with another girl. So, okay, this man was a fucking red flag lying to her. And then she says, girl, when I tell you that my guard is up, it is up. And then she says, this one is patient enough. He's willing to wait it out and not rush anything, because I want to see if this is all a ruse or if this is really him. Is that wrong? Maybe. I don't know. I'm new to all of this. I've only had one boyfriend in my 31 years of life, and that wrecked me, so I'm protecting myself this time. So let me back that up, because I think that they were missing words. Essentially, this person seems like they were in this situationship. This man told her that it was forever. Fucking mistake number 1, sister. You called it a situationship, not even a relationship. Hello, there is a disconnect here. This man is telling you that he wants forever with you, and also you're calling him a situationship. A situationship, we have to look at those as exactly what they are. Situations, not relations. Okay, now everything that we do is a relationship, but you guys know what I'm trying to get at is that we are convincing ourselves or listening to people or being fed certain things that we want to hear that make us feel good, but the actions are not in alignment with the words. Actions don't speak louder than words. Actions need to be in congruence or in alignment with words. Because a man can tell you all the things and then his actions don't show. And then his actions might show, but his words might do another thing. So they have to be matching, not one is greater than the other, okay? It's not greater than, or it's greater than or equal. It's not greater than or equal to. It is just fucking equal to. Does that make sense, guys? I'm fucking tired. Okay, so my answer back to her was that nobody deserves to be lied to. And then we can get into this whole thing of, well, why do people feel the need to lie? And that can come from a lot of things. Some people are just fucking clinical liars. Other people don't want to hurt your feelings, or they have people-pleasing tendencies, and they don't know how to necessarily navigate effectively communicating with someone. So then I had, and again, guys, sometimes some people are just shitty fucking humans, and that's on them, not on you, okay? So we have to take accountability. Awareness and accountability are what you actually need in dating, and many of us are walking around very asleep, okay? Because again, it's a sleepiness when we're saying we're in this situationship, and then this man is saying that he wants to be with you forever. The math ain't mathin', sis, okay? So I asked her the question, did he propose, which he did not propose. And then the other thing is you taking this radical accountability. Radical accountability, getting out of victimhood mentality, is where you reclaim your power. So in these situations or relationships that end when we think that they're going to be forever, when you go back and look back, the question is always, girl, what were the red flags that you were ignoring? Okay? Because we already had this gigantic red flag that this man was never actually her fucking man. Because it was a situationship. Her words, not mine, okay? So my question would be, what red flags were you turning a blind eye to? And then I'm not quite sure on the nursing school part, but for those of you guys that don't know, I used to be a nurse, and nursing school is one of the most grueling things that you can do, studying for boards. It's all very hard. However, if you are in this state of like overwhelm and stress and you're always studying, eventually you're going to want to have that person in your life that's like your fallback, your comfort, that one that's like, oh my gosh, today was like the worst day ever. Can I trust fall into your arms? Okay? And so regardless of how busy you may be, I do think if it is real love or a relationship where this person actively wants to grow with you, they're going to make time with you. And the time might look a little bit different than it would if and after they have passed their boards and they're now out of nursing school and they have more free time. But if somebody is into you, they are always going to make time for you, period. I'm going to say that again. If someone is into you, they will make time for you, period. Stop making excuses for people. Because again, if it is for you, it will be for you, and the actions need to match the words. So let's say that you are dating someone and they're super busy. There is a big difference between, hey, I'm going to have some free time on Thursday at 7 p.m. Let's go out, go to mini golf, whatever it might be, versus I'm really busy. I'll text you when I am free. Okay? Because someone that's busy needs to be great at managing their time. And if you are someone that they deem worthy enough to fit into their time block to their calendar, they're going to make time. Now, if you're in a relationship, I want you to look at this the same way. Yes, your partner might be climbing the corporate ladder, trying to start their side hustle, all these things, but a relationship is partnership. And if they're not meeting you as a partner, is this really the person that you want to be with? Right? Life is about sacrificing, but I do believe that there also has to be some sort of compromise, realistic compromise, right? I am doing this live and I got other stuff to do, but guess what? I haven't seen my boyfriend in like 4 or 5 days. I'm going to go downstairs for 10 minutes or once I get off of here and be unplugged. And some things are going to have to wait. Even though I would love to be doing XYZ, it's about prioritizing your time. No one is too busy. We just have to find the time. And for some people, they need to make it for you. But you can't force anyone to make time for you. So anyway, that was a whole fucking tangent. And then the next part of this is, so this man was cheating on her. Again, situationship man. So is it really cheating? Because it's a situationship. And this is where we're giving people girlfriend treatment. We're giving our all to this one person that is not committing to exclusivity with us. It's a situationship. That's just what I have to keep coming back to, because she did not call it a relationship. So if someone truly has intentions with you, again, I do believe that they're going to make time to fit you in. And here's the other thing. This man had fucking time to cheat on you. Can we get into that? He had time to cheat on you. But again, is it cheating? Because it's a situationship. He's not actually your man. But anyway, this person found time to be hooking up with someone else. So that just leads me to say, and it's, we swallow hard pills around here, but the hard pill is, girl, he just wasn't that into you. Because his actions didn't match his words. He's telling you he wants forever with you, and it doesn't match. Again, the math ain't mathing. And this is where we have to be in our power to say, you know what? The math ain't mathing, bro. And I'm going to sauce my way out of this situation. Let me catch myself up with my notes here. Okay. The next part of this I want to address is keeping your guard up. Y'all, I am an anxious avoidant attachment style. Or excuse me, I have those tendencies. That's not really who I am. Who I am is someone that desires to be like loved on and nurtured and all these things. But life and the way of life has made me a little bit more avoidant. I grew up in a divorced home. I don't know my father. I literally could pass this man on the street and would not know who he is. So for me, the way that trauma, until I started fucking healing and working on myself, doing the work, the way that looked was I was very avoidant. I would not let people get close to me. And the thing is, when I really step back and reflect on past relationships, I was with securely attached men that just wanted to love me. But I was not in a space of being able to receive that love. This is the work. That is what you have to do. So if you at some point desire to be in a loving relationship, you're going to have to do the uncomfortable thing, which is open up your heart. Work on your bullshit. Why are you walking around so guarded? Just because a situation or relationship did not work out does not mean that there's not something else for you. Can we get all the way into that? Just because something does not work out for you does not mean that there's not something else for you. And again, I'll back myself up in my own situation here, was that when I ended up my last relationship, and my relationship was kind of over before the conversation came up. And I do believe a lot of us will stay in things longer than we actually fucking need to. I know y'all have had this happen, or you need to have a hard conversation with someone, but it kind of was already over. It had already fizzled out. And so I had started the process of healing and almost detaching while still in the relationship. And again, I do believe that this is very common. So when I got back out and started dating, I was like, woo, like, let's go. It's been 6 years. Like, I'm having fun. I am exploring the city. I am doing things that I really enjoy. I really started, like, my community grew. I had great girlfriends. I would go out and we'd date and just have a good time together. So I don't know, where the fuck was I going with that? It was good. I was like hitting bars and just, and I don't say on the podcast at all. It'll get edited out. What was I trying to tell y'all? Having your guard up. So it wasn't that in previous relationships that I had never been with secure men. It was that I needed to go in and do the work on myself to be open to having a secure man. Because if you're used to men that cheat on you, dog you, say one thing, do another, don't want to commit to you exclusively, when a good man comes into your life, you might not know what to fucking do with him. You might not know. And that's where you have to do the work, okay? Because I had good men previously, but I was not in the space for them, okay? I had to do my work. And then the more that I did my work, the more clarity that I got about what it was that I wanted, what I desired, what I allowed myself to believe was for me. Bars. Like 100%. Like it came and it is the best. But you have to be committed to doing that work. Ralphie's fucking scratching on this door. Okay. So anyway, I say all this to say that I legitimately have been one of the most guarded people, but I chose to work through my trauma, to work through my bullshit, to heal the things, to look at relationships and say, okay, that was for you. That is not actually how I want to live my life. And if you go to I have a post that's still kind of going viral, and at this point it's almost annoying, but it's about finding love later in life. And there are a lot of men on the internet that believe that after you're 35, nobody wants you. And I will fucking show up and fight this societal bullshit drama narrative because women need to have hope. And I hope that by showing up, sprinkling, sharing my story, sharing my journey, how my mind has changed about things about like kids and marriage and all these things gives you the permission that, hey girl, don't close yourself off. Keep yourself open. But the only way that you're going to get open, especially if you're guarded, is to do the work. Stop being the victim. Stop walking around saying, well, my guard's just up. And start working on loving yourself and healing that inner part of yourself. I don't know if y'all can hear Ralphie on this door, but I'm going to... Hold on. Get your little ass in here. Lay down. Okay. So my next reminder to this person is that the universe got this man out of the way for you. Imagine if you had ended up with this man that said forever and then was a fucking cheater. Like, girl, what? What? You fucking dodged an entire bullet. Find gratitude for that. When we can find gratitude for the hurt, the upset, all these things, that is where you open yourself up. How can you say thank you? How can you be grateful? Because things don't happen to you, they happen for you. And it's these simple little things that when you start changing your language, oh my gosh, thank you. That man was a fucking cheater. Universe, I am so grateful that I did not end up with this person. Some of the affirmations that I had to give to myself, again, we're talking about when what you thought was going to be forever ends, is, oh my gosh. Thank you for doing the hard stuff. Thank you for going through what was so uncomfortable, because look what was on the other side of that. Thank you for giving me this lesson, because now I get to also not only live in it and it be my present life, I get to fucking share this. I get to show up and tell women, you don't have to settle in your fucking career if you don't want to. Hello, sign me up. It'll be 8 years since I've been a nurse this year. Okay, 6-year relationship. Stayed in it probably a little bit longer, but it was scary. But oh my gosh, universe, thank you for reminding me that I had the strength, even when I didn't feel like it, but I trusted God, source, universe, whatever you call that. I trusted in something higher, and that was a baddie. Girl, I was not necessarily ever going to be by myself. But that was all work that I had to do, okay? So I want you to remember that the universe got this man out of your way. And the closer that you start removing and basically like going through the murk of life, the closer you get to what is for you. So my best advice for this person, or if you're going through this, you can relate to any of this, reflect back and look at the relationship and get really fucking honest with yourself. Was he really your everything? Again, as she said in her question. So last but not least, we're going to wrap this up. I got 2 minutes to fucking fly through this. I'm going to give you 10 tips that ChatGPT did kind of help me with these. We're going to keep it real. But 10 tips for you to think about if you are grieving a forever relationship that has ended. Number 1, grieve the death of the relationship. And I know that that's kind of like a, death. But yeah, it is. It is an end. It is a finality. Oh my god, guys, I'm so tired. It is a finale. It is the end, okay? fucking camera, curtains closed. It is the end. Allow yourself to grieve that. Okay? 5 stages of grief. You can go Google this shit. I talked about this on another episode. Don't ask me which one it was. Just go binge, okay? But allow yourself to grieve. It is okay to grieve the end of something that you thought was going to be forever. Number 2, get support. Go to therapy. You never been? Go to therapy. I don't give a shit if you are in a great relationship. If you've never been to therapy, girl, go to therapy. Especially if you look like me. Because in our families, I think it's becoming a little more accepted. But therapy is not for crazy people. Therapy is for people that want to heal and grow and be better and not fall into the same fucking patterns that they've been falling into for generation after generation. Go do the heavy lifting and go to therapy. You can get a coach. Hello, like somebody like me that's been there and done it and can speak on their own experience and help to give you the tools that have helped them. Take what works, modify what doesn't. Okay? Get support. Game changer. Number 3, we mentioned this already, but focus on the things that make you happy. Oftentimes when we're in relationships, we forget about doing the shit that like made us really excited. In my last relationship, guys, I'm a fucking social butterfly. But in my last relationship, I had a partner that was older than me, didn't drink, didn't explore with certain things, and I had kind of like closed myself off. And then when it ended, I was like, and it was never that he wouldn't have like let me. It was just, I just didn't do these things. And then I came back and I was like, oh my God, girl, like where have you been? And I found her. And then I found somebody that vibrates with like that, right? Somebody that likes to go out and has fun and also is a bit of a homebody. My boyfriend is a year and a day younger than me, so we are the same sign, and yeah, it's fun. If you haven't ever dated your same sign, yeah, go ahead and do that. Because legitimately, I feel like I'm just in a relationship with myself because we are so similar. Okay, so focus on the things that make you happy, because when you are happy, you are the magnet. Number 4, look back on the relationship. We talked about this. Reflect. What worked and what didn't work? What were the things that you turned a blind eye to because this was going to be your forever? And when you get real with yourself and be really honest, start journaling. Write this out in a question. And maybe the first day that you write out this question, what didn't work? Maybe just write that in your journal and you close it. Ooh, because baby, that might be a lot to unpack. And then the next day you come back and maybe like line by line, hey lady, yes it is. Line by line, you go back and you're like, okay, cool, this didn't work. You know, when it comes to my next relationship, this is really what I want. I want someone that is adventurous and has fun and enjoys going out and wants to do things. And to be spontaneous at times. That was important to me. Okay? Clarity. When you have clarity, you start to manifest. Number 5, find yourself. Again, sometimes when we're with someone for so long, we forget who we are. Just like I have forgotten, I'm a social butterfly. Now, I will say, I'm an introverted extrovert and one of those people that I love being around people, and then I love going into my own cocoon and being like, yes, this is just all for me. It's also only child syndrome, I think. But this weekend, or last weekend, my boyfriend was gone. It's like, oh, I'm going to have a girls' night over. And that was like on a Tuesday, and I sent a group chat message like, hey, bitches, like, let's get together. And then Thursday came around, and I was like, I could push it. I could really do this, but I would not be honoring myself. And I honored myself, and I was by my fucking self all weekend, and it was chef kiss, okay? So I want you to think about finding yourself. In what ways after your last relationship were you just doing things because that's what your partner liked? Little things like, were you buying a bread that you just were buying because that's what your partner liked? Girl, go buy the Dave's Killer bread, please. Please go buy the Dave's Killer bread. And they have an amazing mission behind that company too. So think about the next time you go in the grocery store, it's your playground. You are going to buy the things you wanted to try the different things, get the different soda. It is so freeing to rediscover who you are. That is an amazing journey. Number 6, set some goals for yourself. Goals as in, what do you want to achieve? Girl, go get your ass in the gym. It's not even about revenge body. It's about pouring into yourself. And when I was single is actually when I hired a fitness coach and was in the best shape. Girl, my fucking booty was like juicy as fuck. I had like arms that looked like I worked out. And it was this intentional pouring into myself. And then also, like, when you are putting yourself out and you're going into places and you're being in the streets, you also increase your opportunities of finding people that you might interact with, hit it off with, connect with, see them on a dating app and be like, oh, do you go to my gym? Girl, let the gym be the gym, and that's it, because it can be real weird when you got two men walking up to you like, hey, what are you doing this weekend? It's like, not either of you. Been there, done that. But again, just have fun. Go outside. But set some goals for yourself in your finances, in your body, in your relationships with your friends, in your career, business, whatever. Set some goals and go fucking crush them. Number 7, take care of yourself. So being really mindful that you are not trying to numb yourself out. We can have those sad girl days, and I don't really get into this, but sad girl days where you're eating pints or gallons of ice cream or whatever your vice is. Maybe you're drinking a bottle of wine and it's just really easy for you to get into these habits. Making sure that you're not numbing yourself because you're trying to escape something. You want to be hyper present with your feelings and going through this as you are rediscovering who you are. Number 8, start meditating and being grateful. We already talked about how giving gratitude to the things that seem like unfortunate situations are actually the things that when you can find gratitude for them, they will change your life. Number 9, you're going to have good days and bad days. Don't judge yourself when you're having this shitty fucking low day, but girl, go move your energy around. Don't sit and wallow. Go outside, take a walk. And I also don't want you to judge yourself when you're having a good fucking day. Like, oh, I am so glad that I ended that, or that relationship ended. Because look at where you could be in a month from now, 2 months, a year from now, okay? Don't judge yourself. And last but not least, we got to stay open. And this is probably the most important thing that I'm going to leave you with tonight, because if you let your past experiences taint your energy, you are choosing to affect your future, okay? So you got to still show up and take your time, do your healing, do whatever you need to do, but what is for you is going to find its way to you. And guess what, sis? It finds its way to you when you are open for it. If you're not open for it, it's gonna come and you're gonna boomerang that shit back. It's gonna come and it's like a boomerang back, like door slammed. But when you can open the door and it's like, okay, I invite you in, and then that's still not the thing, and you're like, okay, I'm pushing you out of my door, but my door is still open. Okay, you have to allow it. And I promise you, the universe will not test you, but it's going to give you opportunities. If you don't know the story of my boyfriend and I, is that we connected multiple times on dating apps. And I actually found the screenshot of when we finally connected and exchanged numbers, December 31st, 2022. He messaged me and was like, I feel like we've matched 100 times. Let's get a drink. And guess what? I still did not meet this man until April of 2023. And it was so random. But before that, we had matched in like December at some point and had like connected on an app. And then I was traveling in Scottsdale. I was in the Phoenix airport. He was also in the Phoenix airport and saw me at baggage claim. Didn't say anything, had my number, didn't text me, was just like, I think I matched with that girl on an app. Do you see? Like, the universe is like, boop, she's not ready. Boop, here he is. She's not ready. And I don't think he was really ready for me either, right? But it was like this, the universe was just aligning, okay? This is called, they call it the invisible string theory, where you're like connected or attached to your person, and we can have several soulmates, but in the invisible string theory is that you have already had this energetic connection or agreement with certain people. And so what will often happen is that you'll because you have this connection, you'll be in a fucking random ass city in a different whole state and crossing paths. Okay, I didn't see him, but he got his baddie, so we love that for him. And remember, just because something didn't work out for you doesn't mean the next won't. Because one of my mottos that I hope that you will take into your own life is it's either this that's right now or there's going to be something even better. Bestie, I hope that this helps you. If this spoke to you, share it with a friend. I want to remind you that the Date Better Book Club is kicking off on Valentine's Day. We are 8 days out. That is a 3-month book club where we're going to be reading books, connecting with one another. I'm going to have a group chat. I think probably just a text message, to be honest. So, Bestie, I'm going to give you my digits. But we're going to have a group chat. We're going to get into alignment. I'm going to give you some practices and tools that I've not shared on my social media channels, and it is going to be the best time. I will drop that in the show notes for you. I would love to have you. And I'm going to get off of here and go spend some time with my boyfriend and remind you that it's my mission to empower you to embrace living your life real, raw, and free as fuck. I love you so much. If any of this spoke to you, hit share. And if you are listening on Apple or Spotify, if you're on Spotify, leave 5 stars. If you're on Apple, leave a written review. I love you so much. I will see you next week. Okay, I don't think I had any comments here except for someone wanted to know if this was going to be a podcast recording, which the answer is yes. And that's it. I will see y'all. Have a good night.